Good day and welcome once again to the #1 security program of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. In our special report tonight, we'll focus on the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps involvement in the protection of solid minerals in the country, plus an event where the Commandant General Abdullahi Gana Muhammadu was honored by his alma mater. All this in our package tonight.
My fellow brothers and sisters, watch your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? What does he do for a living? When does he leave the house? When does he come back? If you know your neighbor, you are assisting us in doing our job. And to the vandals, I want to tell you that these pipelines that you are destroying belongs to all of us. It belongs to Nigeria. We're all taxpayers. It belongs to you, it belongs to me.
Now, our top stories.
Nigeria is blessed with abundant mineral resources, many of which largely untapped. From the north central upwards is a huge solid minerals belt that bellies massive deposits of sapphire, gold, tantalite, copper, and uranium. South of the country are deposits of coal, gold, iron ore, lead, zinc, and an array of precious stones and metals. The political will to harness these numerous mineral resources has eluded previous governments due to the dependence on crude oil, which reigns in at least 70% of Nigeria's gross revenue. Over the decades, since mechanized mining came to a standstill in Nigeria, artisanal mining has been the main form of mining activity. This has caused Nigeria tremendous loss of income, with some reports suggesting that the country may be losing an average of 4 trillion naira annually to illegal mining. All that has now changed with the coming of the Buhari administration. The government is keen into options available to grow the economy and commonwealth of the people with diversification, primarily through natural resources. In order for government to attract investment into the mining sector, the various mining sites in the country would have to be properly secured. Hence, the charge by the federal government for the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps to work in synergy with the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development to protect and stop illegal mining. The competence and diligence of men of the NSCDC has never been in doubt, and since the federal government gave marching orders on mines protection to the Corps, the newly formed Solid Minerals Protection Unit has since mobilized to localities that are known for illegal mining activity. This is a matter of law enforcement, and the NSCDC cannot overlook the ignorance of the law by the perpetrators of environmental degradation. From across the length and breadth of Nigeria are mining sites that illegal excavation is ongoing day and night. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps is ready to go into the pits to arrest and prosecute all those who do not have permits for this environmental damage.
We signed an agreement with the Minister of Solid Minerals for the protection of mining sites all over the country. Because all this dependence on oil. We are now venturing into the solid mineral sector, and we've agreed with the minister, with my Minister of Interior. We are going to provide security for all the mining sites, and we will arrest the illegal miners. I'm very happy that the country has a lot of confidence in the Corps. And so many assignments coming up, left, right, and center. And I want to assure Nigerians that we won't fail them. We will justify the confidence reposed in us.
We are not others. We are civil defenders. We curb saboteurs and vandals.
Government property, now our own no. Who be the government?
You be the government. Make you no use your hand, rule your property. Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps.
They can pay to stop this fire where they scatter
Recently, the NSCDC was charged by the federal government to begin working with the Ministry of Solid Minerals. And this is aimed at protection of the abundant untapped mineral deposit sites across Nigeria. A number of state commands of the Corps are since raided and sealed off illegal mines.
This place is called Oiboche.
Is it a river or dump?
Yes, this is a dump. This area is called Iboche. And these people are illegal dredgers that doesn't have license to operate. Also, they are not paying their royalty. And we've sent a message to all the illegal dredgers in Rivers State, more in particular, this area. So we are here today. They sighted us from afar. They all ran away and abandoned their equipment. So as you can see, this dredging machine is small. This is a small dredging machine called the KK. The KK. This one is called KK. Yeah. Come. Look at the other side. If you look at that side. And all these things is causing the environmental degradation. Look at their equipment.
Daddy Jeep to come close down.
We are able to arrest one suspect. I think we'll let their tire and we'll seal the whole place.
Okay.
We'll seal the whole place. Then we'll be...
The raid had officials of the Ministry of Solid Minerals on toll as government seems unrelenting in allowing illegal business.
What they are doing is environmental degradation. You can see the center of environmental degradation in this area. It's not advisable. And the committee of this place, they have been writing, telling us that they are not safe again. And we are trying to tell them to come to office and do the normal thing they're supposed to do. They are dredging here without mineral title. They're supposed to have their mineral title before they go ahead and do the dredging activity.
What is the mineral title?
Okay. The mineral title is a license given for you to dredge.
Who is in position to give them the license?
Yes, mining cadastre in Abuja.
Okay, this company has never come to
They have not
the
done
mine.
that. They have not done that.
Because which they're saying that this thing they're doing now is
It's
illegal.
illegal mining.
That is the reason why people
That
see
is
this
the
place.
reason why we are selling this.
Do you know the place now you're standing?
Yeah, this is Isopo, precisely Isopo community. Along the dredging sites are along the Isopo Omanwa road. We are in charge of the whole of River State.
Okay, River State. Okay, Ishekbo is in River State.
Yeah. It's a one of the local governments in River State.
What is the name of this company, sir?
Multitech company. Multitech company.
Multitech company. Do they have license of operation?
They don't have a license of operation, and besides, where they are dredging, it's not okay for them to dredge because this is ordinary borrow pit where Cetraco lifted their red mud when they were doing the road. So it is not advised. It's not a lake. It's not a lake. It's not a river. It's not even swamp. So this is just a borrow pit. So they are not even supposed to come and dredge here. Talk of obtaining any certificate for dredging.
Okay, I think that the order is they are not allowed to dredge here,
they have to,
even though they have license or not.
Yes,
they're not supposed to come here and dredge some.
Quite a number of suspects were arrested, with some claiming ignorance of the illegality of their action. Next, the defender spoke with the Commandant, Department of Solid Minerals, NSCDC. He enlightened us more on their activities.
Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps is mandated, like I said earlier, to protect critical national assets, including solid mineral. So we go in partnership with Federal Ministry of Mines and Development, State Development, to curb to minimal level the excesses of these illegal miners. In other words, the Federal Ministry of Mines and State Development is regulatory body while we are there to protect the solid minerals from illegal miners. Yes, we have been organizing workshop, in-house workshop for. But before then, the Federal Ministry of Mines and State Development has agreed to organize workshop during which our personnel are exposed to various types of solid minerals and how to identify them in all the states. This workshop comes at zonal level or state level to bring in focus the peculiarity of the terrain of the zone or the state. What I mean is the type of solid minerals found in those areas. So the both Nigerian Security and the Federal Ministry of Mines have been organizing workshops for our personnel to update them. Since the establishment, we have been able to go into operations. We were able to make arrests. But first of all, we have two tools or two approaches to this coping of illegal mining. One is through carrot, whereby we make arrests. We counsel the alleged people that are involved in illegality. Counsel them, be able to tell them the implication of what they are doing in the area of human security. What I mean by human security, food security, environmental hazard. Then we advise them to go to Federal Ministry of Mines and State Development and apply for their mining titles. The mining titles include exploration license, lease license, and mining itself license. 2, we also involved in using our first approach, that is stick. And this approach is in the extreme cases when the suspect prove stubborn. After all said and done, we can now apply prosecution, can send them to face law. But also they done, we use 2 tools, carrot and stick, in dealing with suspects. Illegal miners go to Federal Ministry of Mines. There is an office there or department they are responsible for registration. The mining sites are there. Go there, indicate the solid mineral you want to exploit or you want to mine. There are about more than 500 mining sites in Nigeria, both mine 1 and mine 1. So I advise the illegal miners to go to Federal Ministry of Mines and obtain their licenses.
Next door in Imo State, the story is not too different as artisanal miners excavate the earth without permits.
Hey, come.
And I want the Nigerian populace to know that it is now the duty of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps to ensure that illegal mining in this country is stamped out completely, because it's a sabotage on the economy. Just like the oil sector, the solid minerals deposit store is also very important, and it should not be seen to be dominated by illegal activities. So we have all the legal backing to ensure that we keep our sites, particularly mining sites, safe. So my advice to the Imolite, most especially where we operate, is that if they want to go into mining, they should follow the due process. The due process is obtaining an operational license. This can be sought for through the Federal Ministry of Mine and Steel. They are the right body to issue this license. We are therefore working in collaboration of the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel to ensure that we stamp out illegal mining in this state.
However, the suspects will be reoriented on how to operate, but if they fail to abide by the rules of the game, they may be prosecuted.
The NSCDC has made it clear that it is up to the task of protecting critical public infrastructure and the safety of Nigerians as vandals are chased to their hiding places, arrested, prosecuted, and convicted.
Hello, good morning. How are you, Boysa? How is Boysa this morning? Yes, I just saw it now. Yes. Go to point 004. A and B. There's something there going on now, right now.
More arrest of economic saboteurs is ongoing in different states command of the NSCDC, and on the Defender, we will keep it coming every week on the show. We'll take a quick break, but when we return, we'll take the high points of their word received by the Commandant General of NSCDC, by His Alma Mater, the Barewa College Zaria, our special reports, and more. Don't go away. It was indeed a day of reunion for the former students of the famous Barewa College Old Students Association.
Your excellent lecture to us to all Barewa Old ones, and we are proud of you. Well done. Well done.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
The Honorable Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Danbazao, retired, was the guest speaker.
Issue of insecurity, I mentioned that it's very highly complex and multifactor, where we just picked education to demonstrate the extent to which education itself or lack of it contributes to security or insecurity. But of course we know that there are other factors that do with it. I give you an example. Most of our prisons, in fact most prisons anywhere in the world, you are likely to discover that the bulk of the inmates are from the lowest strata of society. You understand me? But that doesn't mean who is at the lowest strata of society is likely to be a criminal. Likewise, we know that poverty is a factor in contributing to criminal behavior. But not every poor person is a criminal. We know that the bulk of poor people are law-abiding. But of course, we know that we can demonstrate that poverty is a factor contributing towards crime. The second issue too you raised is true. Similarly, we cannot, you mentioned education cannot explain those at the top hierarchy of terrorist organizations. I agree with you. Like it's the same thing that you cannot use education to explain why people will embezzle money. Because there is difference between blue-collar crime, which is committed mainly by the poor, and white-collar crime, which is committed mainly by highly placed people who have the opportunity. So it is not because they are uneducated that they are committing that. So it's multi-factor issue. But in this case, in this context, we isolated education to see the extent to which education itself, or lack of it, does contribute.
The day culminated into a dinner and a word night as the Commandant General of NSCDC, Abdullahi Gana Muhammadu, was honored by his former schoolmates. Distinguished statesman and former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon himself, an old boy, presented the award.
Well
Really honored to be recognized by the institution I attended about 36 years ago. And you can see among the awardees, I'm the youngest. All of them are those that have finished Berea College in the early 60s, late 60s and 70s. I'm the only one that finished 1980. So I feel highly honored and delighted today.
Some old boys of Barewa College also spoke to the defender.
We're especially proud of you. I was in Form 4, I think he was in Form 1. I knew him very quiet, very humble. And I was not surprised when I heard that he reached the pinnacle of his profession. I wish him very successful tenure. And just like we finish well, I hope he will finish well too.
How do you rate his civil defense under his leadership so far?
Fantastic. I think he took up where Bolonri left and even added more value. The civil defense has gained more respect.
But I've heard of him, and I think he did not meet me in Berea College. But with the achievement of the civil defense, I'm sure he's the right man on the right job. He will do very well for us, and he's represented the college as we feel like any other senior officers, that they are doing very well, and I wish them the best of luck.
I think Commander General Gana has done very well. I could see, like for example, from the turnout of the personnel that turned out to cover this occasion, to give us security cover and orderliness, I could see from your looks, your disposition, and the morale of every personnel I've seen looks very sound and up and doing. I think he's doing a very.
I left Berea in 1981. He left 1980. I haven't seen him since then, except for what I read in the papers. But the few steps that I have seen him take since he assumed office suggest that he's an inside person, so he knows the system. And I pray that God will give him the wisdom and the courage to act with integrity in repositioning the force. I think that given his training from Berea College, and I'm sure elsewhere, he can bring this, combine all of this to bear and make sure that the NSCDC that he met will be a lot better when he leaves.
And this is all we can take on tonight's edition of the Public Enlightenment Program of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, The Defender. Don't forget to keep a date with us, same time, same station, next week. And don't forget also to reach us on our various social media platforms as displayed on the screen. And until I come your way next week, I remain yours, Shola Odumosu. Stay out of trouble. Bye-bye.